Hey everyone, and welcome to the Freedom Life Collab. This podcast is made up of unique voices and real conversations about leading, laughing, loving, and living freely. We are so glad that you could join us, and our hope is that we can help you experience freedom. So let's hear about today's topic.
Yo, what up, y'all? This is the Freedom Life Collab. Freedom Life Collab. I'm excited. My name is James. I'll be the host for y'all for this episode. Ongoing or going forward, we'll probably have some different hosts. But real quick, y'all, we are a collaboration of leaders. We're all working at Freedom Life Church in Hampton, Virginia. And so we just wanted to spend a little bit of time telling you what we're going to be doing at this podcast, how we're going to be doing it, and what you can expect. So real quick, why don't we just kind of just circle the table, walk the table, and tell everybody who you are, what you do, and what we bring to the team.
Start with the head man right
here.
I mean, the dude who was actually the boss of this whole thing.
That's right.
He needs to be the first one to go to make sure he sets the tone.
Right. I'm the old guy in the room. So I'm Freddie, senior pastor, Freedom Life Church. Ooh. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. He's so dumb. I have the exclusive challenge of trying to herd cats for a living. These guys are just awesome. It's great to work with y'all. I'm just here. I'm just here to contribute however possible. Just jump in, whatever. I'm just here to humbly serve. Whatever.
This dude has the most wisdom out of everybody in here. Like this guy is just. And before we even jump in, matter of fact, let's give some shout outs to some of the folks behind the scenes. Y'all won't even see. The bearded wonder is behind us. He's holding the camera. You can't see him, but he's there. He's there. And then we've got Eric. He's producing this whole thing. It's our tech director. So. Y'all make sure y'all give some love to him. And shout out real quick as we're thinking about it. Shout out to Jamana Turner, Sean and Amanda Thomas, and Kristen Wood.
And Philip, our intern for
Philip
student ministry.
the intern.
They helped put this whole room together.
Great
tables, chairs. They did an awesome job.
Great job. Looks good in here.
Great stuff.
Look good.
Do houses.
Good. Yeah. We do. Feels good in here. So anyways, keep moving. Who's next?
Go ahead, man.
Well, I'm Brian. I'm the worship pastor. Which is just a fancy way of saying I make the most noise on stage. That's what I do.
Singing them songs.
Making them beats.
Hey, you still haven't followed up with me about my audition for the worship team.
We got your email.
We need to move on.
It's gone to the right people.
We need to move on.
Keep moving. Okay.
And, it's in process.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Check it.
All right, and my name is Kyle. I'm associate pastor here, and I basically oversee our weekends, some of our project management stuff. So I get a chance to hang out with a lot of awesome friends, great leaders. So
Yeah, man. So I'm James. Like I said, I'm one of the pastors here. I'll probably be hosting us for a little bit. I'll probably bring just like the most seriousness to the group. Like these are probably some of the funniest dudes I've ever met.
He's a smart.
That's why I got to be here. That's how it works. That's how it works. But what you'll learn about us.
I love that.
These dudes are ridiculous. What you'll learn about us is that this is something this guy calls us. We're the brainchild, but really, one of the things that we do at Freedom Life Church is we have different leaders in different positions. But one of the beautiful things is that we actually get an opportunity to bring all of our expertise to the table, and we collaborate. And so that's why we called it Freedom Life Collab, because this is what we do on a daily basis. So when we're doing sermon prep, where we're getting ready for a series, we're planning out our calendar, planning out our year, mission trips, ministries, all of those things are usually collaborations, and that's something I've never organizations I've been a part of is something I've never seen before. And so we really just wanted to share some of that with you. We realize that we is better than me. And what I also love about those times when we get a chance to collaborate is that we'll be sitting in an office or around a table, and we'll start getting on these conversations, and things start happening. And it's like it just gets really, really crazy, really, really fast. Sometimes like tears, everybody's crying. There's other times where everybody's laughing. But what I get from those times is that usually our hearts are uplifted, and we leave challenged. We leave, motivated to go do more. And so we also really figure out this. I don't know if it's a formula, but we figure out this way to connect life and faith in a real way. And so that's what we want to share with you guys. We actually just want to invite you to our table. We want you to have some of the same experiences we've had, and really just kind of invite you into some of the conversations that we normally have. And so that's the why behind the collaboration. But I want to tell you somewhat of the why behind the podcast too. We just want to pull back the layers. So as we said, we are all pastors at a church in Hampton, Virginia. If you're looking for a church in the peninsula, I think it's a really dope church. Me and my family go there. I don't just work there, but I go there as well. So we just want to pull back some of the layers of, we preach great sermons, we give great illustrations, but what we want to do is really kind of give you some of the life experiences and some of the stories behind some of that stuff. So we always are coming up with really creative ideas. And so I just wanted you guys to be able to really hear some of the brainchilds or the brain children around those ideas. So this is not going to be your normal podcast. It's going to be something that is going to be really different. So you're going to hear a lot of voices. You're going to hear from some people that maybe you know, some people you don't know, but it's going to be real conversations about leading, about laughing, about loving, about living freely. That's what we call it, the Freedom Life Collab. So there might be some scriptures, there might be some controversies. We don't all agree all the time, but I think it's going to be real cool. I think it's going to be life changing. I think it's going to be dope. It's going to be relevant. It's going to be authentic. It's going to be diverse. So
can I jump in there
man,
too?
please,
I just think I think it's really exciting to see more and more churches, more and more organizations moving more and more towards collaborative thinking, and I think that that's exciting. We've been doing it. We've been able to benefit from the collaborative power of us, I think, for years now, and we're still learning as we go. But I just always think about the idea that all of us is always going to be smarter than any one of us. All of us is always more creative than any one of us. All of us, and I just love working with you guys because, like, one of the beauties of collaboration is that we don't hold out. Like, we have for those of you who don't know, our church is multi-site, so we have a campus in San Antonio, Texas. We have an online campus as well, and we're doing a lot of fun, neat things, different ways. But one of the things that I always really appreciate is none of us like hold back. We have a preaching rotation. I think I only preached like once in the past month at FLC Hampton because like everybody can preach and it's awesome, it's great, but we all work together to write every message. And I think like peeling back a little bit of the depth of our collaboration that not everybody's going to understand if they don't know us. Every single Tuesday we get together, and it's not just us. There are other people in the room too. And we're actually crafting every sermon as a team. And what I love about it, it's like Kyle's not holding out that awesome illustration for his week to preach. It's whether Brian's preaching, I'm preaching, you're preaching, or John's preaching, or whoever's, Pastor Scott's coming in. It's like everybody's always like, man, the Lord showed me this really awesome thing, and I'll take Kyle's stuff and preach the heck out of it. I'm like, by the time we get to the stage,
you wrote it. That's it.
Exactly. And so for us, our rule is once it hits the whiteboard, it's nobody's idea and it's everybody's idea. So to us, I think for me, that was part of what I was excited about, is allowing people to kind of see a glimpse of what that kind of thought process looks like around other topics, not just what we preach, but around leadership, around life, and how our collaborative thought process and experiences are going to contribute something greater and hopefully be a model for some of y'all out there saying, man, who could I get in a room together to think through some things with? Who can I get in a room together to help my organization become greater or my impact be more effective? So.
And especially to tackle the topic when it comes to stuff like just everyday conversations. We preach these topics, we share these scriptures, we give these illustrations, but then what about when relevant topics are hitting the news or something's going on social media, and then how do you respond to this as a Christian, as a male, as a female? How do you actually live these things out? And that's stuff that people tend to kind of shy away from, or we're like, do we make a statement? Do we have a conversation? What do we do? How do we feel about that? How does Jesus really feel about it? Is it Republican? Is he Democrat? Like, we should have those open conversations, and that's what we want to be able to do so people can actually feel like they have some sense of, wow, that's a new revelation. That's something that maybe I've never thought like that before, or, that's a way to kind of take scriptures. It's almost like being able to sit down and have coffee with all your pastors, so to speak, and say like, hey, pour into me real quick. Tell me what you think about this. Like, just no holds barred, and so that's kind of, I think, what we want to give off on.
Absolutely. Go ahead. Anything?
No, I was as you were saying that, I was thinking, how oftentimes like we only talk to the people who have the same perspective as us.
Exactly.
We don't. It's not often fun or interesting to talk to people who have different opposing ideas. Not necessarily to be converted, but just, hey, let me hear your side of the conversation, and maybe there may be something that you say that may change the way I think about something. One of the mottos of our church is to change the way people see God, and I think that applies in so many areas of life through just basic conversation. Sometimes we can change the way people see life, politics, marriage, raising children, or whatever. But we'll never grow if we don't ever talk to someone of the opposite side.
That's true.
I think it's cool too, and the idea of collaboration is that you start seeing that you actually have a voice. Like you realize that, oh, I actually do have something to contribute to this conversation. And so, I mean, that's the thing that we want you guys, as you're watching, as you're listening, to realize that you do have a voice and you are a part of this conversation as well. So as time goes on, we'll make sure that we have ways that you can engage in a conversation with us. You can ask questions. Like, the first thing you can do though is subscribe to the channel. I can't even say that word, but subscribe to the channel.
It's all new to us,
It's
James.
all new stuff.
Subscribe,
subscribe,
click that
whatever.
button. Yeah.
Follow us. Share with your friends. Man, just follow us. Whatever the stuff is, you do it. But we want to make sure that we have an ongoing conversation. So real quick, y'all stay tuned. There is so much coming up. Like we're going to really dig into some real cool topics. I think you're going to be in for a treat. So y'all stay tuned, follow us, share, like, all of that stuff, and share with your friends. I can't wait till we jump more into the conversation.
Hit all the buttons.
Yeah, hit all of them.
Hit all the buttons.